Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence, and I talk about other topics to help others on their path to financial independence. And today, I wanted to talk about the subject of return on capital. And this is something I use quite a bit in my early retirement years here. Um, and the nice thing about return of capital, it's one of the only uh, income sources that does not count for MAGI for the ACA healthcare insurance policy. And so MAGI stands for Modified Adjusted Gross Income. The ACA program is Obamacare, the health insurance group. And so strategically, return on capital is really interesting. I own a bunch of master limited partnership oil pipeline companies. You can buy them like individual stocks, and they pay distributions that are pretty high, which are really nice. They've also appreciated a ton over the last while, particularly since this war in Iran started. They've all just kind of percolated up again. And their distributions are somewhere between 5 to 9% on average, but they pay in what's called return of capital. There's some other investments that do this. I think there's some covered call income funds out there that pay return of capital, something like, you have to check it out for sure, but I think QQQI might do something like that, or something else. I'm not a covered call guy, but there are some covered call investments that pay return of capital instead of ordinary dividends. And so how do you use this in early retirement, particularly when it comes to getting ACA subsidies? If you're in early retirement, you need enough money to live on, but you can't make too much money. And so I'm married for a couple of two. I think the amount is something like $89,000 of, no, actually it's $84,000 of any income sources before I lose my subsidies on the ACA insurance. And there's actually a sweet spot of about $42,000, above which your out-of-pocket expenses go up quite significantly, your family out-of-pocket. So, if you want to understand the ACA insurance, it's really important to kind of look at the out-of-pocket costs that you have as well. But overall subsidies, you can make about $84,000 a year and still get subsidies. And so how does a return on capital happen? Well, let's say you want to pull some money out of your retirement account, like you retired on your rule of 55, or maybe you had a 72T plan that you're pulling money out of your retirement account in early retirement. Say you're 50 to 55, or just over 55 or something. You could pull up to, say, $84,000 a year out of your retirement account, stay under the ACA window, be in a low tax bracket, but then anything that you had return of capital doesn't count towards your MAGI income. But it does work as income to live on. It just doesn't count towards MAGI, nor do you get taxed on it that year either. And so that's something really interesting about these oil pipeline companies, is the way that they pay their distributions. You will eventually become taxed for these amounts. Each distribution slowly lowers the basis, your cost basis for what you paid for these things. And so after you've recovered 100% of your costs, then the distributions become just ordinary income, ordinary dividends. And or if you ever sell those shares, then you have to pay tax at the ordinary rates instead of long-term capital gains rates. So the strategy is hope that these pipeline companies exist forever. You just pass them on to your kids. They get a step up in basis, and then you never really pay these hefty taxes. It's probably not going to work out as good in that respect. But for now, because it's return of capital, and return of capital by definition means you earned the money, you gave it to an investment, the investment slowly just gives your own money back to you. That's why it does not count as MAGI income, because by definition, you're not earning money from the company, they're just giving your own money back to you. So it's kind of a funny definition, but in any case, my plan is over the next decade to keep my MAGI income low while still needing money to live on. And so I have a ton of oil pipelines. They all pay this really nice return of capital. And then I can add into that a little bit of ordinary or qualified dividends, pull out some money out of my retirement account slowly over time, and then have really decent subsidies. But this is just kind of like those little education things. If you've never heard of return on capital, it's really interesting. And if you want to look up some pipelines, there's a couple of ETFs that own them. There's one called MLPA, another called AMLP. If you look up the holdings in there, it'll show you what they own. Most of them are master limited partnerships. Things like ET, EPD, MPLX, SUN, USAC, GEL, CQP. Those are some of the names that I can just rattle off. Oh, Western, which is WES. These are all oil pipelines that have these unique distribution formulas. So I don't know, check it out. They also give you 10 or K1 statements you have to deal with on your taxes, so just be aware of that. But return of capital is intriguing for early retirees. I've heard of several that are using it because it's just so interesting. So I wanted to educate you guys. I do videos on this every once in a while because it is a big part of my early retirement. And so I just wanted to pass that along as not financial advice, but just something for you guys to know about that might be helpful to you. So like, subscribe. We'll see you. Bye.